Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We're now episode 206, and I'll be discussing one topic, which is Spider-Man might move from the Avengers to a totally different franchise. So, uh, so imagine two guys from, imagine two guys named Tom meeting on the set of a movie in which both of them are dressed to look at least kind of like Spider-Man. It's not crazy. Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker could totally meet Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock in Venom 2. Here's how. Um, this was on a Monday. Comic Book Resources published an in-depth video all about how Tom Holland's Spidey might swing over to the Venom movie series real easily. Here's a short version. Tom Holland mostly works for Sony, not Disney. Sony produced and distributed Venom, and as you probably already know, Venom is a character from Spider-Man comics. So, because Tom Holland has publicly said he's still going to keep playing Spider-Man, a lot of people think having his Peter Parker in Venom 2 is a foregone conclusion. In some ways, having Spider-Man appear in Sony-produced movies, of course, makes slightly more sense than having him show up in in Disney/Marvel movies. So, and if that sounds like a lot of movie business gobble de gook, here's what it means. All Marvel superheroes are part of Marvel Comics, but the movie rights have been split up for a long time. So Sony has had Spider-Man for a long time. So, and the only reason the character was in the Avengers was that Sony basically loaned him to Disney/Marvel Studios. And now, infamously, the deal is over. Adding to all this, screenwriter David Koepp, who wrote the 2002 Spider-Man, said this week that he thinks fans who are demanding Spidey's return to the MCU have gotten it all wrong. And he said, and I quote, it's a tough situation, and I think certainly the last couple of Spider-Man movies have been terrific. But the animated films Into the Spider-Verse that they, of course, Sony, did without Disney's involvement was, even more terrific. What's weird to me is those Marvel fan movies who are quick to spring to Disney's defense, like they were they're a plucky underdog who needs to be defended. They are not a plucky underdog. End quote. So the question now is whether or not Tom Holland will become a plucky underdog in the shadow of Tom Hardy's Venom, and if so, will the new version of Spidey be too scary for kids? In other words, could Tom Holland's Peter Parker go from being the most wholesome on-screen version of Spider-Man to the most hardcore? Only time will tell. And note that the post, which is what I read to you about, the post Spider-Man might move from the Avengers to a totally different franchise. That was the topic I read to you guys. Appeared first on Fatherly. So that's the website pretty much. But yeah, so I'm just reading the article. But that concludes this topic. Feel free to visit us on Facebook. We're available on iTunes, Google Play Music app, Spotify, and of course, YouTube.